Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of the Wiggins Wager. I am your host, Candace Wiggins, and today's episode, we're going to make it short and sweet. We are now entering Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, where the Cleveland Cavaliers will be hosting the Boston Celtics, in which should be a very, very exciting close game. So, quickly, here at the Wiggins Wager, we answer 3 critical questions. 1, who's going to win and why? 2, how many points will be scored and why? And finally, 3, the margin of victory or the point spread. In addition to this, we will provide helpful commentary on players that we have identified as the keys to their team's success. And as always, here on the Wiggins Wager, we value facts first, and then we fill in the gaps with our own opinions. All right, let's have a conversation. Okay, so let's start with the very first question, who's going to win and why? Well, this is pretty straightforward, I think. I say the Cavs will win, and my brother also is in agreement with me. He believes the Cavs will win, but I do think it'll be a super tough game. I don't think this game will be a large margin of victory at all. Whereas the biggest question was how would the Cavs role players play on the road in the last game? Conversely, the biggest question tonight will be how will the Cavs role players play at home? And the reason why I have the Cavs winning this game is because I believe that the Cavs role players are going to play extremely well at home. All right, so the reasons why I believe that the Cavs are going to win this game tonight is the home court advantage. Again, I was telling you about how in a 3-game series, your home court advantage really is going to determine a lot of how the game is played, and I think that it swings back around to the Cavs now that they're playing at home in front of their crowd, and their crowd is incredible, okay? And I believe, again, it will switch the numbers back. So remember, we reviewed all of those numbers, and we'll identify some key critical numbers to be looking at for this game tonight. But we identified how much these players shift their game when they're playing at home versus when they're playing on the road. So again, I think that the role players are going to determine the outcome of this game, just like I believe that the role players determined the outcome of Game 5 when it was in Boston. But finally, this is the biggest reason why I believe the Cavs will win tonight, and it is as simple as this. LeBron James will not be denied a Game 7. I just do not believe that he will be denied for that chance and that opportunity to continue his plight. And that's really what I think it simply comes down to. At the end of the day, that's what you're going to be betting on in this game. Okay, now on to part 2, which is how many points will be scored and why. So the line for this game, the over-under, is at 201.5. I am significantly under the line at 191 points. And my brother is closer to the line at 200. So Alan's predicting 200, I'm predicting 191, and the line is at 201.5. All right, on to question number 3, margin of victory and point spread. So I believe that the game is going to be a hard-fought game, and I believe that the final score is going to be 98-93, the Cavs. So I have a +5 margin of victory for the Cavs. My brother is slightly higher. He thinks it'll be 103-97 Cavs. So that's a +6 margin of victory for the Cavs. And then the spread on the game is +7 for the Cavs. So we're all pretty much in agreement that the Cavs have a solid chance of winning this game fairly comfortably. I believe it'll be super tough and very close. And I do believe that the Celtics could have the opportunity to close the game out as well. All right, so now time to identify some key players that we believe will have a huge impact on the game. Let's start with the home team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, like I said, you can go back into the previous episodes where I talked about the role players and the numbers, and we broke down their numbers of how they play at home versus how they play it away. So we have this sample size, and I just want to make sure that we reiterate these numbers so that you can understand what you're looking at in this game tonight. Starting with J.R. Smith, he was shooting 35% at home from the field, but 60% from 3. So this is a man that can be very dangerous at home, and I believe that JR is so big time that he saves his biggest games and performances for when the moment matters the most. So I believe that JR has a 60% three-point shooting game in him tonight. Kyle Korver is next. Kyle Korver was shooting 75% at home, 67% from three. Again, I believe that this is a trend that can continue in this game, in this moment. And then finally, George Hill is shooting 50% from the field, 33% from the three. I expect George Hill to have an incredible breakout game performance. And basically what you need to know about those three that I mentioned is any three or all three are due for a breakout game and are due for a scorching hot performance. So just keep that in mind, that the same role players that we were looking at in the last game are the ones that you should be looking at tonight. Okay? And then in terms of the key players for the Boston Celtics, I think it's the same as the usual suspects, but the thing about the Boston Celtics is that their numbers are fairly consistent from home and away. There's not really a big shift in terms of as dramatic as it is that can be observed with the Cavs. So I think that they're going to be pretty steady, and I think the two players that should be looking to produce more if they have a chance, like I said, if they want an opportunity to win on the road, they're going to need Marcus Smart to have a really great game. How will he shoot on the road is a big sub-question. And I believe that he could be the X factor for the Celtics if they have a chance to win. It's going to be because of Marcus Smart's performance. And also, of course, their point guard, Terry Rozier, they're very dependent on him. And I believe that he will be a huge determining factor on how much success that the Celtics have and how much of a chance that they have to overcome this kind of underdog tone that has been set. All right. That concludes today's episode of the Wiggins Wagers. Short and sweet because we've already reviewed the numbers and we feel like, it's going to really be a home court advantage game tonight. And don't forget the biggest overall factor tonight when you're watching. LeBron James will not be denied a Game 7. All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks again for watching. Do not forget to please like, subscribe, and comment, and share. And I hope to see you at the next episode and the next game. All right.